I will survive cycling to the loop on the Sun Road. Rain and snow create an opportunity. Rain and an additional 35 inches of snow that had to be plowed delayed the scheduled opening of the Going to the Sun Road. It was our good luck that it turned out that way. If you call the opportunity to make your legs nauseous lucky, my family and I planned to cycle to the loop on the Sun Road, but other commitments kept getting in the way. If the road opened to vehicular traffic and we didn't go for our bike ride, we would have to postpone it for another year. Thus, the later opening of the road gave us the chance to prove to ourselves that we are wonderful, like the family that made the hike to Apgar Lookout and wrote that very message in the log. We are wonderful and could cycle the grueling ascent of the Sun Road. Trepidation sets in. As with any tough hike, there's always some trepidation with taking a long and challenging bike ride. The previous year, we had cycled to the west tunnel of the Sun Road. I felt like I was going to die. I survived and I was prepared to return to the park and tackle the ride to the loop where the Sun Road makes a U-turn and zigzags to Logan Pass. You may be asking, what kind of nutcase would put themselves through such torture? The short answer is, I am the kind of nutcase that would put themselves through such torture. I have grown to love the physical challenge, but to put it more bluntly, I have grown to love the feeling I get when the hard work is over. I have to come to appreciate the meaning of the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Plus, there are three things that I have this year that I didn't have last year that made the bike ride easier. A better bike. I love my Trek. This baby does a lot of hard work for me. I have Pearl Izumi bike pants, and these diaper pants save my tush. Number three, improved strength. Although bike riders had the opportunity to ride farther, all I wanted to do was make it to the loop. When I reached Packer's Roost, where I thought I was going to die a year earlier, I was feeling smug about how well I was doing. I didn't get any engrams, and the short but steep ride to the West Tunnel was taken in stride. David, the girls, and I rested at the tunnel. The respite was re-energizing and gave those of us in need an opportunity to flip our amygdala. There's only a half mile more to the loop where we would eat our snacks and experience the thrill of victory. But before we got there, a couple cycled by. If I hadn't seen the wrinkled face of the woman on the bike, I would have not known she was older. I guessed her to be in her late 60s or early 70s. She looked fit and her legs were buff. Wow, she had the body of a much younger woman. She was an inspiration and her destination was Birdwoman Falls. That was 3 miles farther and entailed a much steeper grade. Over snacks, we had to decide to go or not to go. David suggested if anyone needed to, they could walk their bikes the rest of the way to Birdwoman Falls. It was agreed that that could be done. We pressed onward and up the winding road, starting and stopping as necessary. I was taking pictures when a man on an arm-powered bicycle passed. I took note of him as he rode by. He used only his arms to propel his bike. Obviously, he was a powerful human being in both mind and body. I admired his fortitude and had every intention of passing him and catching up with my family after I finished taking pictures. I put away my camera, got on my bike, and began to climb in low gear. I could not overtake the man, but finally reached my husband where we watched the family sharing lunch with a deer. A fed deer is a dead deer, and I do believe the woman heard our comments in that regard. She came over to explain how it came to be that the deer had joined their picnic. They were not feeding the deer. The deer was attracted to their sweat and was licking the sweat from her husband's hand. Wild animals are known to do this, as we have experienced in Attack of the Marmots at Pegan Pass. I am not a tattletale and had no intention of telling the rangers, but I do believe people should avoid feeding the wildlife. Meeting the man with the arm-powered bicycle. It was not until the end of the line where signs warned hikers and bikers to proceed no farther or be fined that I met the man with the arm-powered bicycle. Tell me, have you done this before? I said. He smiled and answered, "A couple of times." I was totally impressed. I offered to take his picture and took 2 shots of him, one in the direction of the mountain goat and the other pointing to the better lighting and mountain scenery. He then asked if we had seen the bear on the way up. We hadn't. We had only seen the bear poop. He showed us a fantastic picture of the bear. My family and I had walked and cycled up 11 demanding miles. We had surpassed our goal of reaching the loop and went all the way to the stop sign at Bird Woman Falls. It felt good to be in that number, and now it was time to reap the rewards of our efforts. We said goodbye to the Ranger chicks and the man with the arms of steel. We got on our bikes and away we flew. The exhilaration of descending the steep sun road is indescribable. I could hardly wipe the smirk off on my face, but the best part was the looks on the faces of the people coming up as we were going down. Some looked tired and grumpy, others discouraged, while a few shot back knowing smiles. I could identify with them all. How much farther could be heard as we whizzed by. It took us 4 long hours to ascend the Sun Road. We descended in less than an hour. It was worth it, a definite thrill factor on the way down. 2 people inspired me that day. The older woman who obviously knows that age is a state of mind, and the gentleman who refused to let a handicap prevent him from achieving his personal best. I also realized that we are wonderful too.